Hello, this is David. Today, I'm going to show you how you can play like the best guitar player in the whole wide world. Who's that guitar player? It's you. I really mean that. This is not a clickbait title. I truly believe that if you follow the steps in this video, nobody in the whole wide world can play the way you play on the instrument. The reason for that is that we are all unique, as you know. I could tell you the story of Little Red Robin Hood. He can tell it too. There's no one there. But it'll sound different, right? Because we are very different and you are too. And that's what makes you, you. With that in mind, whenever you sit down with the instrument, try to develop that unique personality that you have. And it starts with a note. This one, for example, 4th string, 7th fret. I could have picked any other note, but that first note is extremely important because from that note, anything else I play is going to have a meaning. Yes, it all has to do with intervals, and that's because a note by itself doesn't mean anything. But now if I play that note in relation to something else, that note becomes something. So that's the first thing to be aware of. We're not going to play too many notes, just enough so that we have somewhat of a context. Now that context will evolve, the story will evolve, but we're really going to focus on just a few notes right now. Now these few notes that I played are going to be considered the opening statement of my story. We're not going to add anything to the story yet. We're going to repeat this opening statement, and as you do it, I want you to have a mental connection with what you're playing. I know, it sounds kind of weird, kind of new agey. That's not what this is about. This is about an intent behind every single note you're playing. Connecting your mental, your inner ear with what you're playing will automatically make what you're playing more purposeful. So how do you do that? Well, you kind of have to become two things as you're playing. You're becoming the active musician, the player who is delivering the information. Now that part of you is a physical part. All the tendons, the muscles, everything involved in playing is active. But there's also your inner part. The inner ear, what you're hearing, what you're perceiving, your emotional state is also engaged, and you're becoming the listener of what is being delivered. A good way of doing that is to sing what you're playing. You don't have to be a good singer, you just need to recognize that what you're singing, whether externally or internally, matches the delivery. And for that you can use slides, bends, vibratos, or you can take that opening statement and bring the story somewhere else. And that's where that connection is really important, what you're hearing and what you're playing. So if my opening statement was something like this, imagine what would come next. A lot of different things could come next, but I'm kind of hearing da 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 ba da 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 ba. Okay, so I'm going to try to fish around for that. Ba, da, da, da. At first, it might be a very disconnected thing where you are pausing your playing, singing, listening to what you sing, replicate that on the instrument. Eventually, I want you to force yourself to play, sing, and just take a chance and play the notes that you're singing. You saw it there, I made a mistake. That's totally okay. Just kind of fix that. And the more you do that, the more the connection gets really strengthened. That connection is probably the most important thing in music. The connection between your inner musician, that's what I call all the ideas in your head, the music that you're hearing when you're on a walk or just before you go to bed without an instrument, and the delivery of that that musical thought. See, music really starts from within. This is only the instrument, the pencil, the tool that allows you to deliver that musical thought. But the thought really comes from inside. Well, really what I mean by that is that the best thoughts come from inside. Yes, of course, we've all seen and experienced playing and feeling very connected with the music, but in the end, everything we're playing is very pentatonic driven. So we're breaking that, and that will allow you to really unlock your inner musician and eventually play the way that you are meant to play because it comes from inside. Now, word of caution, it's really easy to slip back into old habits when you're doing this. It's very easy to start noodling mindlessly with the licks that you played over and over your whole life. See, all it takes is hitting that one spot, that particular bend. Your fingers almost are going to be reminded that, oh, that means this, and then you're in this weird mode of pentatonic noodles, and you're not really engaged anymore. And that's where recording yourself is very useful. You record yourself doing this exercise, listen to it the next day or a few days after, and extract from that recording the little nuggets that make that recording you. Now, sometimes a recording is not enough, and that's because you're too close to your playing. That's when you might want to have an external pair of ears who can listen to you play and tell you exactly what you should be focusing on. I would love to do that for you. Click this link for a chance to win a personalized video by me telling you exactly what I think you should be focusing on. I'll be selecting randomly one winner on June 30th. You might even appear on the channel, who knows? Can't wait to see who wins. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.